What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's time to do a video. So I've been working really hard in the game, heads down, just cranking out one task after another. And I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to finally stop, take a breather, and share some of the latest updates with you on the game, where the game's going, what our plans are with the studio, and just chop it up here and just talk to you guys. So I have a few items I want to go through. I want to go through the latest game improvements and the upcoming patch and where we are with it, when the release is tentatively scheduled for. I also want to share with you guys the roadmap, what we're trying to do with the game, and where we're going with the game in the near future, and then a few other items that I wanted to discuss. One thing I want to share with you also is the Discord. If you're not on Discord, there's a link in the description below. I think that if you want to be involved with the game and you follow the game and you want the game to improve, by all means, jump in the Discord. There's a great community out there. And a lot of the feedback for the game and the ideas that go into the game come from that Discord. So if you guys want to be involved, check it out. My Twitter channel's on there as well. So if you want to check me out on Twitter, I do post things here and there. But the majority of what I do as a solo dev is exactly that. I develop the game. So I'm always trying to work on the game, days, nights, mornings, weekends, holidays. I try to work as much as I can. And then when I start feeling burnt out, I take a break and I do something else. But the game has come a long way. And let's get into the latest patch here. So I'm not 100% done yet. And I'm actually going on a vacation for about a week. So before I go, I wanted to share with you guys where we are, and then I'll probably be releasing it after I get back at some point. So I'm thinking about 2 weeks from now, the next patch will come out. But there's a lot that's gone into this, and I'm going to try to brush over the main points here. So the big one here, I'll jump right into it, is the settings. So in the previous versions, you couldn't change a lot of this stuff here, and now you can. So when you go to team, the team menu, and you go to team editor, here's where you can change the names, location, stadium, the team logo. We have a lot of new logos in here. So if you guys haven't been following it for a while, or you're just getting back into the game, or you're just looking at the game as a potential pickup, we have some awesome, cool new logos in here. So we have the 32 teams. Plus, we also have these new ones here. I'm going to scroll through them really quickly so you can kind of see that there are more options coming to the game. And it really breathes a lot more life in the customization and the creation stuff you could do with the game. And I'm all about that. This game, one of the pillars for the game was about customization and being able to recreate almost any league you want and just really have a lot of fun with roster editing and team management and all that good stuff. So, and I think we're getting there. So there are a lot of new logos. Even some of the old logos that we had, they've been spruced up a little bit. And these are the original logos. Some of these here, the ducks and the sailfish. And then there's just some new logos as well. Some of these are really cool. I like the lion one. That's kind of cool. The knight one's cool. That's an old catfish one that was redone. This is a snapper one that was done. Another one from the old. So there's a lot of cool stuff. This is one that was redone as well. Same with that one. And then we have some other new logos here. And so there's just a large quantity of logos that you can choose from. So, all right. And this is a custom one that I put in there just for modding, just to show you can actually still mod. But all the way up to here are the ones that are new. And so you can select what logo you want. You can pick whatever end zone you want to pick. If you want to change it to be a different logo, or you just want to match up with what you currently have now, you can do that. You can change the end zone color to any color you want. So let's just pick that one. And you can also put the text that you want. So let's just say we're going to call these guys the Broncos, right? So we'll call them the Broncos. And then from here, you can actually change a different font. So let's just actually, let's not pick Broncos because that's a real team. Let's pick, I don't know, Stallions. Just to stay away from the NFL here. And then you can pick what font. Right now the fonts are kind of all over the place, but you know, you could pick whichever one you think looks cool for the, you know, for the game, for the end zone, and then you can pick whatever color you want. So let's say we're going to do something like that. You can also change the outline color for the text. So if you want to make it something different, you can. And then you can do the stadium. So if you want to go through and pick any stadium you want for your team, you can do that. You can go through here and select any one of these stadiums, and that's going to be the stadium you pick for that team. Next thing you can do, I'm going to go through all these because I think it's really, really important and cool to show you guys that all this stuff can be done through the game now. And it's just, I love doing it. I'm a guy who loves customization options. So you can change the field color to different colors. Let's pick the light green for now. Actually, I like the dark green one. Where's the dark green one? I like that one. And then you can pick grass or you can pick turf. It's really just cosmetic. They don't do anything different in the game. That's just more for the look. And the turf is just, it's just a flat look like it used to be. Now grass has texture to it. You can put the baseball diamond on or off, and then you can put whatever chance of rain you want for the and snow for the team. Run ratio is just for the AI. So when you're going through and you're creating your roster, you can make teams have different run pass ratios here. So whatever you set this to, you set it to 40%, then your pass ratio is going to be 60%. All right, so you have a lot of options here. And then for the actual name, we could change this to be, I don't know, Denver if we want. We can go down here and change this to be something different. And then let's just call them the Stallions. And then team logo, we got that already. And then end zone we got. Now you may be wondering, okay, well, what about the jerseys, right? What about that part? You can also rotate the different players here. You also have down below, you have a cheat sheet kind of hint to tell you what each one of these things do, right? But you basically have customized this team, and now you're going to go over and I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to save it right now. And then I'm going to go over to the colors, and now you can change the colors as you're kind of used to. Let's say we want to make it a brown color, and then let's do, I don't know. Let's just pick some colors here real quick just to kind of show you what you can do. Let's pick that yellow color. And then this is just the coolest part of the game to me. I love customization options. They're just so cool. So let's just pick some colors here just to kind of get through this here. And pants, I don't know. Let's do that. Stripe is this color here on the pant. So I don't know, we'll make it yellow or something. Find a yellow one here. And these colors are all options you can change if you know how to mess with the files. You can put whatever color you want. Let's do that dark color. Socks. Let's go with, I don't know. And you can line up the numbers. So I know that the pants are at the top 41, so I can make the bottom 41 if I want. And shoes, let's just make them a different color here. And then you can change what color you want the captain seal to be. So if you want it to be something totally different, you can do that here. That's also new with this patch. You can put captain labels on every player that you want to have as captain. I think you can only have up to 3. So just be mindful of who you pick. I could be wrong. I can't remember what I limited it to, but that's how it was in the roster. So now up here, here's where you can change the home side. So let's say I want to do that, and then change the stripe. I'm just going to change it to random colors right here just to get through this. But what you're going to see is when I'm done with this part, let's make it pink. Something totally different. I love the cool colors. I just like that stuff. So let's just get through this, and then you're changing your captain, your stars. Oh yeah, the stars are also on the bottom here. So you can see on the bottom of the captain on the bottom left, you can change the color of the stars that go underneath the captain logo. But those could be a little bit different too. All right, so now once you're done, I'm not gonna discard, I'm gonna just save the changes. And now you can see on the top left that the banner and the helmet changed too. So in the previous versions, the helmet on the top left of the screen above the logo, that never used to change. So like if I want to change this helmet to be, you know, green for some reason and I save it, as soon as you save it, that will stick onto there. And it takes the form of the home jersey. So if the home jersey was a different color here, let's pick, I don't know, let's pick this color here. As soon as you save it, you're going to see that that background where it says Denver Stallions, that's going to change too. Let's actually pick a color that looks a little bit more like what we want. I don't know. Let's go with this orange, and then you can see how it changes. So you get the picture. That's my Denver team now. So I've gone through and I've done all the customizations for it, at least from the team, jersey, and the stadium standpoint. You can still go through and you can edit the lineups to your liking. The lineups have a new thing too. That's a bug right there. I gotta remove that hint there. That shouldn't be there. So that's gonna be an easy, quick fix, but patch isn't done yet. So a lot of the new things you have here are, you can change the captain. So you have a yes or no now, to where before I think it used to be a 0 and a 1. So all the settings here that are N and Y, they used to be 0 and 1. So it just makes it a little bit cleaner. You can also go through here now and change all the different personality and likeness traits like morale, popularity, leadership, greed, IQ, work ethic. Those are still not really doing that much in the game right now, but they're here to edit if you want to, and you can still come over here and edit your skills if you need to as well. So that's new on the customization side of things. And then you could do the same thing here with rosters. You can come in here and edit any one of these players. So there's that. Let's keep going. There's a lot here. I'm going to try to go through as much as I can here. I know it's going to be a long video, but this is just easier for me to save me some time. So we have the team settings page. We went through that. I've improved the defensive AI logic to chase after the ball carrier more effectively and avoid bad reactions or pursuit angles. There's some minor fixes I did to the UI things here and there, like the audible button was not in the right place at times. Fixed a bunch of different bugs. Like I showed you, the end zone work is so much better now. The dimensions are perfect now, where before they were kind of being stretched out in your end zone. Tune the blocking wrestling bar, fix sorting issues when viewing rosters, captain logos, we got that. Fixed issue where CPU running back would sometimes go to the line of scrimmage and stop. Yeah, that's an issue. What else did we do? Yep, team options. What else? The new player card, that's right. So in here, when you go in here and you're looking at these players right now, this is all you kind of see for the player. You can come through here and you can change the different screens on top. So if you want to see these stats and morales on different types of bar graphs, you can do that there. But also you can see, if you click the select button, you can actually see some of their stats. So let's go to the QB here, and you can see what their stats look like here. It's a really cool thing I got from the community. They were doing this in their streams, and I thought it was really awesome. So I wanted to add this to the game, and it gives you more, it just gives you more variety with the game. Like if you want to see any of these players at any moment, you can just dive into here and see their attributes. The bottom section that's all clear down here, those are going to show season stats. And I believe when you're in a match, you're going to see your match stats. So you see more when you're in a game or you're in the season mode. All right. So, but I really like this screen. Like, this is just really cool. It just showcases the players and the customization, what they look like. So I'm really happy with the way these look. Oh, excuse me. I thought I was on mute. The mute button didn't work, but anyways, Sorry about that. So yeah, so this is the new player card, and I just love it. I think it looks so awesome. I just love it. I could look at that all day long. All right, so we did that. One of the big things we also did that we'll see in the game is we added three-dimensional sounds now. So now, like on the field, of the players in the top right corner of the screen, you're going to actually hear his voice come from that top right corner. Same thing with, you know, hits and tackles. And I've added a huge library of sounds. So when you get hit, you actually feel the hit. The controller will vibrate better now. I've gone through and done tuning on the vibration for the controller and the gamepad. And this game's definitely meant to be using a gamepad. You can use a keyboard, but the gamepad is where you want to be. And you have a lot better experience with that right now. Just makes it feel so much better. And then also, like I said, there's sounds. I've added in a number of voice chatter sounds from the players. They're going to say all sorts of things now in the field, and you can tune all of it. You can turn it off. You can change the volume of it. And I'll show you that when we get into the game. This is going to be a long video, I can already tell you. So if you're here and you're like, this is taking too long, well, it's going to take even longer because I got a lot to share with you guys, and I want to pack this in before I take off for a week and just give you guys the latest on what we're doing here. So what else do we have? Let's see. Fixed issue that can happen where QB basically drops the ball and the ref never comes to pick it up. Yeah, I got some gameplay fixes in here. The game is playing a lot smoother now. I fixed some sim engine issues, did some tuning there. What else? Ball accuracy, like throw accuracy, has been tuned. There's so many gameplay fixes in here. I'll have them in the notes whenever I release the patch for you guys, so you can see that. The injuries, I tweaked those so you don't see any weird stomach pain injuries when you're on the field. That's just not going to be realistic. So I took some of those out. I fixed some of the issues with like first downs and line of scrimmage not drawing up the right way. They were a little off at times. I added a pop-up for the tutorial for newcomers that come to the game. They can actually just, skip out of it before even going into it. Some don't even know you can skip it, but you can. And people often don't want to do the tutorial. They just want to play, So there's that. There are all sorts of things in here. I have an entire list of things that I did. There's some new effects in the game. So if you throw a perfect pass or kick a perfect kick, you're going to see a cool little magic spell and you're going to hear a sound. It's kind of cool. Maybe you'll see that in the game. The settings are just totally revamped. I mean, now you can actually see like what each setting does. I have a description on the right that tells you. I'm going to put these on hard because that's the way I play. But you can actually see what each one of these mean now. And the controls, these have been beefed up. So one of the things that I've worked on was if you only have one controller and you're on a PC, well, before all you can do is just either play with the controller or play with the keyboard. You couldn't have one person on the keyboard and one person on the controller. Well, now you can. So if you set this to on, you're going to be able to have the keyboard be the player number one, and then player number two will be using the joystick. So you can actually do that now. So for those who only have one joystick, you can actually do that. And I'm going to turn it off for now if we don't need it. You can invert the y-axis now. So some people who have controller issues, they can do that here. And then you can change your icons to be, different icon settings if you're on different systems, which we've had that already. And then now, a new thing for those who've always been asking for, you can actually map mostly every key on the keyboard now to all the different buttons that are in the game. So if you want to change, and these are Xbox buttons, so A, B, X, Y, L, these are all going to be from the Xbox, so map those accordingly. I may add some text in here to tell you what they do, but it's pretty simple, pretty explanatory. You can map all these now, and then you could tune that to whatever you like. Gameplay, there's been a lot for gameplay also. You can do quarters, sim quarters, day, weather, stadium, team, just basically makes it to where the team is the team's choice in what you set in the team editor, which we were just looking at earlier. That's what team means here. But if you always want to play in this stadium, or you always want to play in clear weather, you can also change those settings here. You can auto skip on, acceleration clock. These really didn't change, I don't think, much. The graphics, I did add some new graphic options. So screen shake, screen flashes, show blood on or off. There's a brand new news ticker, which I'll show you guys that in the game. I'll put it on partial. It comes on and off. And then there's the news ticker for the season, which kind of goes through all the games. And that's what's brand new too. I kind of skipped over that, but I didn't get to it yet. But the news ticker is really awesome because it's going to show you all the leading player stats during a game and the season stats during the season. So you can get more immersed into your season, and you can see who's leading rushing, leading throwing, all those stats that you guys want to see during a season. You can now see them on the news ticker, and those are going to show up in the season mode as well. You can also adjust. Somebody had, one of the community members had a suggestion to add different types of player labels. So you can show all players, you can show just numbers, you can show just names for all players. All players have numbers, all players have names, all players have, or just all players period, or just show the active player. I believe that, or you can just turn it off to not show any names, but you have that option now. You can also show the stamina bar. So whatever's being shown here, it will also show a stamina bar underneath if you always want to show that. And then you can turn the weather effects on or off. You can change how many fans are in the game. Another huge thing I didn't talk about yet. There's a lot to cover. So the fans. So I've redone all the fans. In the previous version, all you had was, you just had the fans in one color and they were just statically there. Well, now fans in the game, in the crowd, what they do is they show up based on how good your team is and how well your team's performing during the season, right? So when you're in an exhibition mode, it's based on how good your team is overall. But if you're in the season, it's based on their record. And as you lose games, you'll start to lose fans, right? So fan density being on high, medium, or low or off, this is going to control how many fans you have in the game. So let's say you're a great team and you normally have 100% attendance. Well, if you leave it on high, it'll stay that way. If you put it on medium, it might go down to like 80% or 70%. It just brings them down. You put it on low, maybe it drops it to 50%. But these settings here will reduce whatever the normal fan number is. It'll reduce that count down by whatever these are. And this is actually for people who want to have better performance, because fans do take up some of the performance in the game. So if you want to turn that off, same thing with weather. If you want to turn that off, you can do that and performance will improve for that one as well. And then you have your normal helmet, visors, whatever. And here you have some new sounds. You have the voice chatter with the players in the game. I'll show you that. And then you can tune this. I turn this off, game music, because I don't want to hear the music during the game inside. I turn it off, but if you guys want to put it back on, you're free to do so. You have a lot of different options here, and you can customize the game to whatever you want, whatever experience you want. And that's the whole point. And then you have patch notes. If you want to go to patch notes, you click on that and that takes you to the patch, the web page that has the patch notes, which I'll set that up when I'm ready. And then, so that's this part here. One thing about tournament, I did add, I cleaned this up a little bit. It works better now. And then I added the trophy in the middle. I think it looks kind of cool. Another thing I'm going to show you here is the season. So let's go into a season really quick, and I'll kind of show you, I think the ticker's on here, so you'll be able to see that. Right now it's loading the ticker. That's why it's taking a little bit longer. I don't think we have any stats yet, so you're not going to see anything yet, but let's just sim a couple of weeks so you can kind of see the new ticker in here, and I'll just show you how that works. So So the weekly wrap up is going to take a little bit longer each time, guys, because the weekly wrap up is also getting all the leaders and all those stats so that you can see it on the ticker. So the ticker's not showing right now. I think I know why. Let me just save the season real quick. I think it's because I'm not using. Let's see. This is something I'm going to have to fix real quick when I get over this, finish with this video, add it to my list. But the ticker should be using the season one, but it might be using the normal one. So let's put that back to on. Let's go back to our season. I believe it was this one. Okay, it's loading the ticker now. It should show up on the bottom. Not sure why it's not showing up. There might be something wrong with the setting, but we'll show you it in the game if it doesn't show up here. I'm not sure why. I'll have to fix that. But on the bottom underneath the coach, it should show you. Let's just sim one more week just to see if that does anything. But it's kind of cool. You'll be able to see the ticker in the bottom, and I'll show you in the game in a second. But yeah, it's not showing up for some reason. I don't know why. But you know what we'll do? We'll just go into a game in here. We'll go to our team schedule, and we'll go ahead and play this game here. Actually, what I wanted to do, never mind. What I wanted to do was show you the team that we made, because we made a team, right? With the first team, Arizona. They're now Denver. So let's just be them. You can also change settings in here. So if you have anything you want to change before you go into a game, you can do that through here by clicking the right trigger. And then as far as like weather, I think it's going to be dry. So let's just keep it on that for now. And then I'm going to let you listen to some of the in-game stuff here so that you can kind of hear the new sounds. But look at the crowd, guys. So now the crowd, they're going to have people from your team wearing the home or the away jerseys. They're going to have people from, when I say your team, the home team, you're going to have people from the away team in here as well, scattered through here, so you can see them wearing green. But everybody on the stadium, the stadium's loaded right now. So there are people all over the place, and there's some new animations in there as well. So, and every single fan, they're shaded differently, so everybody looks a little bit different now. So it gives more variety. And you're gonna hear voice chatter. I'm gonna try to be quiet. So hopefully you guys can hear that okay. Let's go ahead and just receive. And I'm gonna show you a couple plays here because there's some new sounds. One of the biggest sounds that are cool that I like, the coolest sounds, is like the helmets hitting each other, so that when people start blocking and they hit each other, you're gonna hear helmets like cracking. You hear that? And then you're gonna hear some chatter when you make a move, and it's just gonna add a lot more. When I was playing this game before, I noticed that it was pretty quiet and fairly dead. So I added in these new sounds, and you guys can play around with them. I don't know why the first down marker's so high up. That's weird. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. So Future Havo, check that out. One of the things too, if you look at the guy, the RB, after so many seconds, he's going to start running away. So we're going to look at that again in replay. And one of the things that you guys can't feel, and that's one thing that I always was curious about with other games. It's like people say, oh, you have to play it to feel it. You actually have to play this game to really feel the differences when it comes to the patch. So we're going to follow this guy here. And I'm going to show you a new thing that I added as well. You can turn that off. So what's going to happen is he's going to run to his spot. That's his route. His route stops right there. But after so many seconds, he's like, I'm going to get out of here and help the QB. So he'll run out to a different direction, because him just sitting there is not realistic. I wanted him to sit there with enough time in case you're trying to like break a zone. and you want to like find a hole like those guys above are doing, and then they're going to break at some point, and so that's there as well. The coach also moves. I don't know if he's going to move here, but the coach actually will move in between plays as well. So that dude will move eventually. I don't know why the ticker's not showing yet. So maybe there's something going on with it. So I'm going to have to show you guys at a different time. But you can hear the hit. So when you get hit now, the hit sound is so much louder. Hopefully you guys can hear it. I'm going to go ahead and turn the volume up right now and just shut up and have you guys listen to the game. All right, so I don't know if you can hear that there, but the kick meter also, the kick arrow now has a sound to it to give some more feedback. I'm going to try to flush this kick here to see if I can get the cool sound effect if you hit it flush. Oh, another thing too is I moved the bar so that when you're kicking or when you're doing a kick or a field goal, you need to watch the arrow. See, the players are yelling. They're like, we got a man down. When you're doing a kick, I missed that part, but when you're doing a punt or a kick, you watch the arrow. And the way it was before is once you click the button to power the kick, the power was underneath the kicker. But I changed it now to be where the arrow is. So when you're watching the arrow, you can stay looking at the arrow, and the kick meter will show up right underneath the arrow. Well, that was a big hit, and the controller vibrates. It feels so much better now. I mean, I just can't explain how much better it feels. But for the kicking, it's improved. I think it's improved. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to, because even for me, I was looking at the wrong spot there. But it's going to be better, I think. And I'll let you guys, tell me what you think. But really, the idea is to keep your eyes focused on the arrow, and then as soon as you power the kick, you can keep your eyes where they are, and you can power it right there. So it's going to make it hopefully a little bit easier to do kicks. But kicks are still challenging, and I love the new sound effect with the arrow going back and forth because it kind of makes it feel more alive. But all of these sounds you can change, you can tweak them, you can adjust them however you want. And I don't know why the ticker's not showing, guys. That's bugging me a little bit. You can also turn vertical sync on. I added that. This news ticker should be on. Let me see if I turn it to off. Maybe it's backwards. I don't know. I don't know why it's not showing up. There's something off there. But I know it works. Everything's been coded. Everything works perfectly. It's just, for some reason, it's not showing. And I'm not sure why. Let's get this guy. Somebody get this guy. Oh. There you go. Let's go. All right, so that's the game. I'm not going to go into too much more. I'm going to show you real quick the player card. So see, you can see now the stats for the match. So you can go into any of these. I like this because it just shows you really quickly like where you are. You don't have to go into player stats and look at it. You can also do it that way too. So if you want to look at like your rushing, what kind of rushing yards they have, you want to look at the receiving. I mean, I'm super stoked with this because it's just going to add more of that variety. All right, so we're at 34 minutes in the video. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now. And I want to show you guys something else that I wanted to talk to you about. So let me flip over to the cover art. So the cover art for the game has been kind of on my mind on what to do with it, because before we get to that, real quick, the patch. So the plan is to probably release it in about 2 weeks from now. So stay tuned. I know you guys are waiting for it. I know you guys want it, but there's a lot of things I need to just, not a lot, but there's a few things I want to firm up. I want to add a few more things that I have on my list. And then I want to get the patch rolled out, because the plan is once I get that patch rolled out, I need to figure out what I'm going to do next, because the idea is I want to get this game, I really want to get this game out around football season. So the start of it, right? And I'm not sure what that means. So one of the big things is I want to make sure the game looks the best that it can look. And this cover art here that you're seeing is what I have, and I love it. I mean, I think it's great, but I don't know if it really depicts the game being a pixel art game. I think people who look at this, they say, okay, well, this is another Madden or 3D game, and it's not. And I want people to know what they're buying and what they're getting. And yes, they can go look at screenshots. They can go look at the trailer. They can look at the reviews. They can do more homework. But off the bat, I'm thinking about getting I'm actually not thinking about, I'm getting a new cover made right now. And if you look at the early sketches of the drawing, you're going to see here that it's going to be more of a in-game, like cartoony kind of look picture, where people can look at it and say, okay, this is not only football, but it may not be Madden, it may not be a 3D game. So look at these, and I like the early sketches. I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with yet. I like the second one. I like the fifth one on the bottom left, and I think we're going to try to do one of those two. But the idea is to get better art for the game, get eventually a nice trailer for the game, nice screenshots, and sell this game and try to see if it can grow some wings and get to all the people out there, because I really, really think that I like the game. I mean, I think the gameplay has come a long way. The people on the Discord have been huge in early access. They've been awesome at improving the gameplay, getting bugs out, and just making the experience so much more polished and smoother. And this is just another component to that. So I have to get some of those things firmed up. I also have a new company name that I registered for, and I also have a new website that's yet to be released, but that's kind of in the works as well. So there's a lot of the business side stuff that's happening that I'm working on, but that's all coming. Another huge thing that people who follow me on Twitter know about now is the porting, right? So we have officially gotten into the Xbox development, and it's actually ID at Xbox. So Xbox ID program, which is a special program that's for games that they believe in, that they think are worth, I guess, promoting and being part of their ID at Xbox program. If you don't know what that is, go check it out. But we got into the program. So we're there. We have our dev kits, and we're getting ready to start porting over to Xbox. We also finally got into Nintendo, and Nintendo dev kits are coming as well. So stay tuned for that. Porting is a lot of work, and I'm not sure how we're going to release this thing. We may release on Steam first, just to get it out there, and then stagger our releases one port at a time. I'm also trying to work on deals, potential deals with these consoles, and depending on what happens there, we'll see. But the idea is to get the game ready for release, get the game out there on different consoles. We're also on the PlayStation. So we're also on, as far as developers. So we have Xbox console, we have Nintendo Switch, and we have the PlayStation that we're going to be targeting as our console ports. But those ports are going to take a lot of work, right? This is just the beginning, but we got the first wall down, and the first wall is getting into all those programs. And we're super, super, super excited and stoked to get this out there, because this game is meant for consoles. Okay, PC is just the first easy way to get there, but consoles is where we're going to focus our work and our time, and we're going to consoles one way or another. We're going to try to get on every single one. We're already approved for every one. We have dev kits for 2 out of the 3, and I'm probably going to be going one at a time. And so stay tuned on that. There's going to be news on those as we make progress and as we get closer to porting on these. So stay tuned for that. There's a lot of cool stuff coming from that standpoint. So keep that stuff in mind. I'll leave you guys with the other cover art here. The other thing that we want to, the last thing, so this video is almost 40 minutes, guys. So if you're still on this, thanks for watching it. There's a lot that's in here, but if you're here, then that means that that you have a lot of time on your hands and you're enjoying this game. So anyway, so the last thing I wanted to talk about was the last part of the game, the multi-year franchise. So people have been asking about franchise. I, as a player, want franchise. I want that in the game, but franchise needs to be done a certain way. People are complaining about franchise in other games. People haven't been happy with franchise in a long time. I get it. I'm in the same camp. I want a good franchise mode that gives you the experience, that immerses you into the game and makes you feel like you're in a season that has a life and has events and have things that happen. That's what I really want to do for this game. But that takes a lot of work, especially when you're just one person. Okay. So I've been thinking about trying to get at least, and this is not an at least like a 2-minute thing. I don't know how long it's going to take me. And so this is kind of like up in the air on what I'm going to do, because I have a lot of work, as you can see, ahead of me, and we have a lot going on here. So, and the season mode is pretty good the way it is right now. So we don't need to add anything if we don't want to, but I am toying around with the idea of adding in some type of off-season free agency, multiple year thing where when you're done with the season, if I can do it in a couple of weeks of work time, I'm going to probably try to squeeze that in and get it to where when you're finished with your season, you can have some type of free agency or draft or something in there that allows you to be able to shuffle around your team. Some players will retire and you pick up some new players, and then you go to another season. And then I don't know how many of those there'll be. There may be 5, maybe 10 years. I'm not sure how many, but the idea is find a quick way, the quickest way I can, without getting bogged down too much and getting behind on the release, to get some type of a multiple year mode in there so that people have more to bite off. If I don't get it in the first release, I think I'm going to add it in as an update to the game. So I'm not sure where we're going to land on that yet, but the idea is to get something in there to give you more life for the franchise mode. Okay. Before I do the real franchise mode. And like I said, I mean, this is a business too. we have to make money. And up to now, we're just on early access. We're making some revenue from that, but it's nowhere near what it needs to be for this to be able to sustain itself. So I'm hoping that people will wish list it. If you haven't wish listed it, go wish list it. If you can purchase it on Steam, that'll help us out a lot. And then when it goes to console, hopefully it does well there, and then we can keep moving. But that's kind of the plan. That's where we are. I showed you guys a lot in this video. I apologize for the length of the video, and hopefully you guys got enough. You can go back and take a look at what's coming, but that's it in a nutshell. I'll leave you with this, and we got a Nintendo, guys. We're in Nintendo, and I'm super, super, super stoked, because that was like one of the first target consoles that I thought about when I thought about this game. And I'm so excited to get it there. I'm so excited to bring that to you guys, and it's going to be a job. So it's not going to happen overnight, but we're stoked and we're super excited to get this game on Nintendo, and we're so happy to be on their system, and we can't wait to get it into your hands. So stay tuned for the next patch. I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'm going to go on a vacation with my family, and I'll catch you guys when I come back. So take care, enjoy the game, spread the word, and get on that Discord if you're not. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.